how's everyone doing? Anthony here, AFT Dog Training. I feel that somebody needs to talk about this, and you know what? I might get my membership revoked, but it's just my opinion on how things are handled at certain organizations, man. And I'm a professional member at the International Association of Canine Professionals. I am not the only one feeling this way. I may be the only one that's speaking up, or one of the few that are out here publicly speaking up about this. But it is about the recent statement made by Petco CEO on banning, in his words, the shock collar. I don't use that term because that dupes the public into actually thinking that collar is tasering, like a police taser. That's what the public associates that with. And you want to know, I'm doing a video on this too, on the side note, on Victoria Stilwell's show, how they allow an electric sound when they try it on the client. It goes, it doesn't do that, but they edited that sound in to make the viewer and the public dumb into believing that that's what happens. Because that doesn't happen when I put a TENS unit on. My mom has one installed inside her back. I have one for my back. But that's besides the point. The International Association of Canine Professionals, their response was very delayed, and the response that I seen, like, I thought somebody shared something saying that they were busy doing other things. Listen, this is our, people's livelihoods and dogs' lives matter on this training device. You know how many deaf dogs I train on that device? Not even that alone, just dogs in general. I think it's one of the best training tools. So regardless of your opinion or ideology of how you think dogs should be trained, it's not based off of fact, and it's not based off of science. Petco put out a statement, the CEO, not knowing anything about dog training, and says that they only use positive reinforcement, which is a fallacy. We need to get over that point. That is a false statement. It's a lie. And it's not even up for debate. If you're a doctor and you even believe that statement, you should lose your practice, because that's a lie. That's like saying that if I went to the dentist, it's going to be pain-free. It's force-free going to the dentist. That is a damn lie. And it's even if I was going to go to my general practitioner doctor, it's going to be force-free. That is a lie when I'm going to be forced to get a needle where my kids are. And I'm just using these examples because I got to get people's mind thinking. Dog training is not force-free or positive only. If there's a leash attached to the dog, there is some kind of tension and communication on the leash. All dog trainers do it. And the IACP's response, I think, was delayed and weak. I'm sorry. The National Association of Dog Obedience Instructors put out a fantastic response, regardless of ideology, and they are that is an organization that consists of all dog trainers, but they know the harassment and social media harassment that us balanced dog trainers deal with. We deal with racial, homophobic, bigot slurs called to us almost on a daily basis because we train dogs with tools. I know it sounds ridiculous. This is the only industry I've ever seen anything like this in my life. I've worked at Merrill Lynch. I worked for major corporations. I'd never seen anything like this in my life. And the fact that the IACP really just blew that off, they're policing their own, but they're also not putting out any policing of the other side. The other side is not policing their own at all. That's a fact. Victoria Stilwell severely injuring dogs on leash and what I would consider close to animal abuse. Not a peep. She's an ambassador at the Pet Professional Guild. Jeff Gelman throws a cotton towel at a dog. Ban him. We have to make a big statement. That lasted 1 second. Victoria Stilwell whipping a dog around on a leash on her show, and that's just one episode. I got an arsenal of episodes of how poor. Pet ambassador. And then you're joining almost sides with them on the ridiculousness of like throwing a cotton towel at a dog to making it out to be like the most outrageous thing anybody's ever seen, instead of stepping back and saying, okay, you know, maybe the timing was off. You know, we don't really condone this, but it, you know, come on people, it's a cotton towel. You know, wait a minute, here's Victoria Stilwell. No, here's Zach George hanging a dog for almost 30 minutes on his TV show, 3 feet off the ground, but you don't say nothing. So you're policing your own, but you're not saying anything about the other side. And the other side, as Zach George is hanging the dog 3 feet off the ground for almost a half an hour, they're saying it's force-free and positive only as the viewer's watching. He has 2 million subscribers. But there's nothing being said. What's being said is that by the CEO that all remote collar trainers are animal abusers. And the response that you put out was very weak. I pay about $500 something, I think, to be a professional member. That is not a very strong response to stick up for us dog trainers. I still, every week, I get heat. Last year was a lot of death threats. And the response that you are going to allow Petco to put out, it should be a lot stronger. I don't care what's going on in IACP. That's one of the biggest pet companies in the world putting out a false statement. The entire statement is false. The entire thing. And not only is it false, but it's pushing propaganda so that people like me and a lot of other members of the IACP continue to get hate from the other side while you keep your mouth shut about what's going on the other side. And if you want to see the evidence, anybody could do it. Just go to YouTube, click in Zach George, look up Victoria Stilwell, look up Gene Donaldson, and watch them hang dogs. And there's nothing said. Throw a cotton towel at a dog that lasts 1 second. 1 second. I think if you timed the throwing of the cotton towel compared to Gene Donaldson hanging a dog for a half an hour or 15 minutes and Zach George a half an hour, or Victoria Stilwell, who the hell knows, that was probably over an hour, without muzzle conditioning or anything, but calling it force-free and positive only. And then Victoria Stilwell staying on her show that a dog died from a prong collar. That was what she said on her show. A dog died from a prong collar. So, I think that you really should address these things. It should be said. If not, you know, you're going to lose members, man. This is important to us. All right, everyone. Have a nice day.